He's not had too long to go and get himself sorted, whereas Chris was done and dusted by about 7:30 last night.
A ball has just dropped in, so it will be respotted. Chris did make another ball. Cut break to start for Chris.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. He played Christy Caulfield on this table, and that's the match he lost in the winners' qualification stage. And he broke brilliantly, as did Christy, as in they both left beautiful splits of every single frame. It's just he had a couple inconsistent ones, a couple dry, and that was the reason he lost the match, really. I mean, probably 2 mistakes apiece on either side. It was one of the most incredible matches you'll see, 18 frames in less than 40 minutes. But I think that's part of the reason why he's probably come in with a cut break this morning. He knows he can't afford to have that sort of inconsistency and break well.
Yeah, but this is part of that reasoning, but it is also a negative as well. This split is not particularly nice. There's problems everywhere you look, and so much so Chris doesn't want anything to do with it just yet. Can't blame him.
And you know it's a tough layout when Chris Melling wants nothing to do with it. Who do you feel's had the raw end here? Tom Cousins has done what he's meant to do. He's the #1 seed. He's come through largely plain sailing. He was pushed in places, especially in the first round against Darren Hope, but his reward for coming through unscathed is the #2 ranked player in Chris Melling.
Yeah, it's Tom for sure. I mean, Chris has had a bit of a... They've both had a raw deal to draw each other here in the quarter-final, but yeah, Tom's the one who's not had a defeat yet, so you've got to feel a little bit more sympathy for TC. Tom had a great win over Sean Storey late last night in the last 16. Chris Melling with a 10-9 win over Dave McNamara.
Yeah, I watched that game. You were on commentary here on the main table, and I went out and watched the Melling-McNamara match. It did draw a little bit of a crowd towards the end. David McNamara had chances to win a couple of really good ones, especially at 10-8, at 9-8 rather. Had a counter clearance to win the match, didn't make it, and reverse clearance from Chris Melling in the deciding frame. It probably doesn't quite tell the full story, because it was a match where Chris was pretty much clinging on, and his first words afterwards when I spoke to him was, "Got away with one." Looks like Chris has had enough here of the tactical play, and actually he's not bad really. It's not easy, but you can make a better case for the Reds. This is dead straight. He needs to get back to the right-hand side of these yellows. Not quite far enough. He could have done with just avoiding the yellow and going to the other side of it. Oh, he had just enough angle to try and force into the yellows, but only just. Had to really create an angle, really, from hampered queuing, but that was excellent. That is not, though. That was a delicate one. It's got away from him.
Well, don't expect there to be many mistakes in this match between Tom Cousins and Chris Melling. Many missed chances. with that being said, you just wonder how important that this first frame, always feel harsh calling it a mistake, but wasted opportunity for Chris Melling might be. It was a tough finish.
It was. He'd done a lot of the hard work though. Just needed to make that delicate pot. Expect him to make the one down the cushion, of course no guarantees, but yeah, he'd done the trickiest part was just connecting them together. A nice easy chance in the end for Tom.
And Tom Cousins punches in the 8-ball for a 1-frame lead. It doesn't take much for a shot like that to go wrong.
It's the only
back on the front ball,
no.
and he's topped into the middle pocket. Wow.
I was just going to make the point that it's the only time that putting a ball over a pocket really gives you any equity in the frame is the 8-ball in that situation. But oh, the disaster continues here for Chris. Do the two reds plant past the yellow? If they do, I quite like reds.
I think so.
He's looking at the yellows. Looks like he's going to go yellows. But I think if those two reds plant, I like the plant. Yeah. No, he is going. He is going reds. He's just playing the plant, making sure the red doesn't go behind the yellow.
Red ball's in play.
I actually wondered if he played it. I didn't think he needed to sort of squeeze it. I thought if he played it straight, it was going, and the red would stay where the other red was, and as long as it was still going to pass the yellow. But obviously felt that it was going away and could get tied up by the yellow, so tried to play it with more pace. It's come out okay, not perfect, but the two reds still go, so we'll be happy enough. Probably use one red that's most in the open in the middle of the table. Wants the angle to track the top of the table and leave the other red near left centre as your 8-ball. Might have a little bit too much angle here to play the shot he wants. Yeah. Not where he wants to be here. It's not what he wanted to do originally. You could see he wasn't happy with where he landed 2 shots ago, and he's still trying to recover that situation.
Yeah. Well.
Judged that one well, to be fair. Knew he was going into it. He'll be happy with the angle he's been left.
Knocking on the door of 5-0. That one wobbled, but in it goes, and he's nicely onto the 8-ball. Lovely. I think he'd be a little bit different as well, as Tom rifles. That's the best one he's hit in the match. But it'd be different as well if, say, Chris hadn't had opportunities and Tom had just run racks on him off dry breaks, and Chris had barely had a look in and found himself 7-0 down. Chris has had plenty of chances in this match and almost hasn't got himself into that rhythm, and it makes a comeback in that sense. Even though in theory it's possible, even more unlikely.
Slightly delicate drop in here. Yellows are okay. Looks like he's decided to deal with the ones at the bottom first. I'd be surprised if he leaves the one over bottom right as last ball. Just doesn't want to go through the traffic of the reds. But he could do.
Yeah, if the reds weren't there, it's almost your natural final ball, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be now. He's got a nice angle. Maybe a shade too much angle. He wanted just to be able to hold and get roughly straight in on the one down the cushion.
Yeah, I think he still can. I think. Might be just trying to pinch this a little bit, put it on the straight side of the pocket.
Yeah, he just has that turn, half a turn more than he wanted.
Yeah, there you can see right in the straight side of the pocket. And even then, look how far he's come.
Yeah, he had too much angle to hold, so he's going to leave the one up the cushion his last ball. Won't have to do anything with it, even if he lands straight. I mean, he doesn't want to be straight. He'd love to have just a few turns of angle. And he's not going to. And Tom, in his own words, doesn't like these shots. He feels that he's not the best at down the cushions.
I don't think anyone likes these shots. And Tom Cousins continues in his dislike.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough shot. I mean, it's just he says he's not very good down the cushions, which is obviously relative term, but he probably compares himself to some of the other top players. And you're absolutely right in what you say. No one likes them. It's just some of the players give you the impression they're the easiest things in the world when they're not.
Well, if it is to happen for Chris, it does need to start right now. A little chink in the Tom Cousins armour. Yeah, he's going to elect to pot the yellow. Only risk with that is he's not on his next ball. So it might just be a delicate little snooker here. It was the right shot from Chris. He's landed as bad as he possibly could. To not be on a ball here is very unlucky. Oh.
How'd you like that? 7-0 down.
That's naughty. That's naughty.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, fantastic.
I actually think he might have hit this too well. Can he be? Is he on the yellow to left centre?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I see. So he's thinking the yellow nearest the red's awkward to play off the cushion off the red, whereas this one is easier to do it with. That's his thinking here. Clever. Oh, he feathered it. He didn't move it far enough. I just needed just a tiniest bit more.
Oh, the margins are so small, aren't they? The margins are so small. He still squeezed this in.
It went clean.
Could.
It went clean. Touch of the Phil Harrisons there from Chris May.
Oh, what a finish this is.
Well, where's the 8-ball going?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It was there as well.
He actually overcut that a fraction. That was on the thin jaw. That was one of the most amazing efforts at making a clearance. It really was. There were some high-class shots in that chance. And actually, he's put Tom under a bit of pressure here.
Yeah, first shot's not easy.
Yeah, Tom's just going to have to stand up and make a really tricky pot in the centre. There's no point playing the hiding shot at the top of the table. It's just as tough.
Good shot. Very good shot.
Has this gone awkward? I think he's okay. I think he can still see it left centre. And if he can see it, might even be able to play nicely on the one at the top. Now decides just to drop it in, touch thinner than it looked. This was all about the first shot for Tom. First shot was good. Nice pot second, and then pretty much guaranteed thereafter. There was some effort from Chris Melling, but ultimately it's going to cost him the frame.
Right. 8-2 Tom Cousins.
He's had a touch of help from Tom in the last 5 frames as well.
Well, he's absolutely creamed that break, and Tom Cousins will be sat in his chair and he will already assume this is 8-5.
Yeah, it's not absolutely certain. First couple of shots, he just needs to get himself in line, but these all go. In fact, he was a little bit straighter on that than I thought, so he was perfect actually from first shot.
Chris doesn't have to rush here as well. I think he's aware of that. He's not absolutely flying around the table. Plenty of time in the match here. It's one thing that Chris Melling does benefit from, is because he is generally such a quick player. Doesn't usually have to worry too much about the match clock troubling him come the end of the match. He does make them look so routine. For a player of Chris Melling's ability, they are, but you just got to remember that not everyone can do that.
No, it was a beautiful layout though for him. He was straight enough on the first ball that he was in line in one shot, and then it was just pretty much simple pattern from there. Tom doesn't know what to do on the break. Here we go. The biggest break in the game is cut breaking. No, he can't bring himself to do it. Can't bring himself to do it.
Oh, that dreams a break straight down the middle. Yeah. Why would you ever cut break when you can break like that?
I mean, it wouldn't even be in my thought process if I could do that.
What a decision. What a decision.
If I could do that off the break, I would be hugely in the camp ban the cut break, just because it would be such a big advantage. Not everyone can do what he's just done.
Absolute dream of a break, and without wanting to pot them for him, this should be the match. Great opportunity. This was the hardest ball, and he's landed on it perfectly.
A touch short here. I think he can just grip it and avoid the red. Yeah, he would love to have gone an extra 3-4 rolls across the table. Oh, he could grip it comfortably.
Well, super match. We were worried at one stage it may well be a procession. Full credit to Chris Melling for making it competitive, but Tom Cousins gets over the line. He flew into a 7-0 lead. Chris Melling then pegged him back some.
Then you hit an absolute sledgehammer. It was good to watch. Well, a great performance as we get underway, and well, the winner of this match will play you at 5 o'clock in in the semi-finals. And I want to ask you just quickly about the tournament in general before we get to the semis later on, in terms of, you know, coming into it, a lot of people would have looked at it extends the race, therefore maybe the top players have more of a chance just to establish themselves and find their way. And I guess you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask a lot of the top players, they'll want races to 10, 11. But yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to still be in it. I could have lost the first round, but
well, it's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, against Darren in the first round, you know, if it was a race to 7, then it might not have been the same story.
Yeah, I mean, we'd rather the longer races, but there's so many decent players about that it, you know, might give us the top players a slight edge, maybe. I'm not sure, but
you're a player that tries to. I mean, is it just another match coming up later? You've got plenty of time to think about it before the semi.
Yeah, it's
just another game.
Yeah, I'm not too worried, mate. It's just go out there and try my best, and if I lose, I'll just go home, and it's as simple as that. I'm not too bothered, mate.
It's a pretty carefree attitude, obviously, especially I think in the bottom half of the draw. Other than Scott Gillespie, we've got 3 players that are yet to get to the silverware with Ultimate Pool.
Yeah.
And it's a big stage, and obviously it's a big stage for yourself as well. But the ability to sort of downplay it to it's just another match is quite a big thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've always tried to be pretty relaxed, and obviously I had a good year last year. I don't feel I've got any pressure on me to try and prove a point or anything, so I'll just go out there and just try and put some balls. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the simplicity of it as well, and you give us that impression when you're at the table, which is always a joy to watch your sort of mannerisms and style around the table. But the game itself looks like it's sort of, to me, that it looks like it's just in the perfect place. You've got power to sort of push on and really find your top game, but you know where you're at is also good.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played my best pool this weekend, but you know, I'm still in the semi, so I've got to take the positives really. But yeah, I need to try and kick on a little bit to try and put in a real good couple of performances tonight.
Yeah, well, that sounds like the perfect plan. Tom, as always, thanks for your time coming in and joining us. We'll see you at 5 o'clock in the semis, and over the next hour or so we'll find out who you will be playing. We'll see you a little bit later on.
Cheers, Simon.
And it is going to be between Declan Brennan and Carl Sutton that will take on the number 1, Tom Cousins, as he leaves the studio here. He'll be keeping a keen eye on this. I always love to get that thought. You know, mentions that not beaten deck for a long time, so interesting to see who comes on through this one. But 2 big names, 2 big players, 2 trophy winners with Ultimate Pool, 2 players in good form as well. It's going to be a tough battle, and it's a brilliant start for the Northern Irishman, who takes the opening frame.
So obviously bringing back good memories for him. If he feels comfortable in the environment, it's a big tick.
Tricky layout.
Yeah, first glance I was looking at yellows, but the 2 that are tied up on the rail. It's just, and the 8 ball's going to be tied up as well, unless it goes in the bottom right. So he's got a tricky little route. Could he play the red into the middle first shot?
I think he's looking at yellows, isn't he?
Extension call.
Just needs to be low on this yellow. And obviously he's going to play this cannon, but 1, he's got to avoid the red, and 2, he's got to land in the gap of the 2 yellows, I think. If he hits the top yellow that's stuck on the red, I don't think he can be on it.
And he hit the red that you talked about. It looks like, when you look at the camera angles before that shot, you think you can't hit that red, but when you play it with pace, it will throw so wide, you end up clipping it, and he's not got the cannon he wanted, so he's going to pull back.
It's not too bad. So Carl's just essentially got to make sure he hits a red here, and he doesn't want to disturb the yellow and the red. I think either way, Declan's going to have another chance at going for the finish, and it's just a matter of where this cue ball lands after hitting a red, if he does. That's not too bad, I don't think, because Deck is sort of being forced into going, but he's got to play a cannon and be on a ball.
Oh, misses his cannon again. 2 chances for the cannon have gone. Double.
Yeah.
It's aggressive.
Yeah, but I think the beauty of this rule set is sort of similar to poker. Once you're pot committed,
You're all in.
You're all in.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Missed on the turn.
I wonder how much it'll be in Declan's mind that his experience of the TV table so far this weekend has been a positive one in result, but negative one in performance. Played Craig Waddingham yesterday, and both of them were not at the races really for their extremely high level.
It could do, but at the same time, I think coming into the event, he's had some bad history with 6 red shootouts as well. And
He has, yeah.
And he come out on top of them, so...
It's his first win for what feels like an awful long time in a 6 red shootout. I think his record is something like 11-2 now, something like that.
Yeah. He likes to blame Ronan for a couple of them,
He
doesn't
does, yeah.
He's just hold on the yellow. So just miss it. Just take the red by the 8 ball into the corner of this shot now.
Oh, that's a surprise. That really is a surprise.
Yeah, I think he's tried to sort of pinch the pocket to just hold the cue ball because he had a little bit too much angle. It's early days in the match, but it's a 2-frame swing. If that can get this finish and go 3-1 up. Just a little bit into it too much, but it should still be okay.
Well, Declan's going to get away with the error. He's still going to win the frame. Punish that miss pot by Carl Sutton.
It's a better break. And look at them reds. Quick.
Yeah. Records on. Hit them well. Really good break.
That's the perfect break, isn't it? It's, if you can replicate that every time, you would not lose a match. Slightly lost the cue ball a little bit from his first shot, which is then making the finish harder than it was originally laid out to be. Should still be okay, but he's just got to bring the cue ball off 2 rails here. Played it nicely and he's perfect.
Little flick was a nice touch as well. This frame was pretty much over from the moment the layout came out for him. Of course, you still got to make sure, but it was a nice layout. And just at the right time for Carl Sutton, because you could just sense the touch of frustration. Probably will feel like he should have been closer. Well, he still needs to have some hope. It all starts with the next frame. Can he find a minute-and-a-half break clearance?
Right, I get there again. Another break where he's hit him well, no ball.
Yeah. It's just been tough for him on the break today.
Extension call.
See Dex just taking his time just to make sure this pot.
Yellow balls in play.
Situation for Declan here is this is a chance to win the match. He doesn't need to kind of overthink it too much. This is just normal ball here. Naturally going to be running the clock down as he's doing it, but just don't have to think about it at all. Just try and make the clearance. He's not been able to deal with the yellow by the red at all yet, and he's still not been able to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he actually does even have to play a cannon, or he can just land the other side of it to take it into the corner.
Yeah, you're right. Nip this back and get just past the straight and you're there. Come a little bit too far.
Yeah, now he's got to go into the cannon, hasn't he? Just a nice little delicate half ball.
Glimmer of hope for Carl Sutton, but it's nearly 2 minutes used up here by Declan Brennan, even if he doesn't find a shot.
See, I don't think that was ever on, and I don't know why he hasn't tried to back double it into the corner. But as you see there, he got a little bit fortunate tying the red up. Carl's going to have to. He's not even looking. He knows the times.
Yeah, it looks rash,
yeah.
But it's not. He has to make a quick clearance. He's got to make 4 clearances in the remaining time, so just has to go.
Yeah, I think if he'd have had time, he'd have like sort of played a snooker on the yellow and just laid the cue ball behind the red and opened up his bad ball, but it's just not enough time in it for him now.
No rush from Declan. Wait for the beeps. .424 left. What can he leave? 330, and then need 3 finishes. It's just not going to happen. He knows that. It's just not a nice place to be. You feel like you've got to try, but without the golden break in it, just no way back here.
No.
This time he makes the double, and that will be the match. Declan Brennan gets himself into the semi-finals. Our only qualifier through to the quarter-finals. Reece Townsend about to get us underway here in quarter-final number 3. 70 minutes put back onto the match clock, and he's taken on the Masters champion, the former world champion, Scott Gillespie. And it's an excellent opening break for Rees, and still in the commentary box here with Liam White. And Liam, the biggest challenge I want to ask you about straight away here, as Rees will have the first chance, is how tough is it to get used to this arena, the cloth, the table, the cushions, the shot clock, match clock, the environment, everything, the cameras, because this is Rees's first game out there this weekend, and obviously Scott Gillespie's been out there plenty of times in his career.
Yeah, I think it can be tough, but I think what's happening in a lot of pool clubs up and down the country is they're installing like little arenas and tables that either this type of table or basically replicating the setup.
Yeah.
So when players, like the amateur players, are coming into it, some of them are already used to the conditions, so I think it's getting easier. And Rees isn't. He's no mug. He's been around on the circuit for a number of years, and I know he's just purchased a pool club in Leicester with Joe O'Connor and his dad, and Fez, and so on. And he's working full time in the club, and he's probably putting a little bit of more time on the table. And I was speaking to him earlier, and he's breaking as good as he's ever broken, as you've seen there in the opening section of the frame. He's absolutely crunched it.
Yeah, brilliant opening break, great opening chance for him here.
The only thing I would say, this table compared to the ones in the club, it does play completely different. The reaction off the rails, and that will be the biggest thing for Rees to get used to. Is like there, he lost the cue ball because he was expecting probably more of a bounce, and he just not got it. It's how quickly he can sort of get used to the pace.
It's an excellent recovery.
He had a great win against Josh Kane yesterday. I think it was 10-4 or 10-5 or something like that.
Yeah, 10-5 I think it was. Yeah.
And that just shows the level he's playing at. 'Cause for me, Josh Kane's one of the top pros who's going to be around for a long, long time.
And no doubt about it, Scott will be the favourite to come through the bottom half of the draw. Cue ball will stay up, and Scott Gillespie will get his first opportunity.
And it's another crunching break. He'll be looking for reds. He's just got a tricky opening red to get on his colour set, but
Extension call. Red ball's in play.
Really want to be bridging on this one over the middle, so he might have to take the long one and run through.
Chance then for Scott to respond here, and be a good start for both. Perfect position to go break clearance, break clearance.
Would you play for the red into the middle, or would you come back up through the gap and have a choice of?
It always depends on
Either
what it
down
feels
there.
like when you're out there. Where it is from the main camera, I wouldn't want to be playing that in the middle. I'd want to come down and, yeah, that's and that little flat feather on the 8 ball's not a bad one for him. Almost wants to get it back to where he is now, just maybe a turn to the left as we look.
Yeah, he's played that well. Both players settled in well, and it's very similar to the start of the last match that we commentated on. It was both of them out the traps like a pair of greyhounds.
Yeah, starting, and it settles you into the match, not just winning a frame, but making a clearance as well. And both players are going to start with a break clearance, both with big breaks as well. Both players will be happy with the way they're into this one. And it is all square with a break clearance apiece.
A swift transfer in the commentary box. Housewife's favourite Simon Webb is gone. So you're going to have to put up with my dulcet tones instead. Very good afternoon to you, Mr. White. Pleasure to have your company.
Good afternoon to you too. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, excited for the rest of the afternoon at this stage. There's so much good stuff to come, and that is exciting.
I was hoping to see you in this event this weekend, with it being a pro-am.
Can you imagine?
All that practice you're putting on the tables in between the matches.
I wish I had time to actually play the game rather than just talk about it.
I would love to see you and Simon Palmer in the Pairs Cup.
Oh yeah, that would be fantastic. Might break some records as to how many the lowest number of frames won, but we'd have fun.
I'll become the photographer.
Need to get you a stool. So Rhys Townsend back on the break, and well, his run continues because he hit his first one brilliantly, ran it out, and if this is how he's been breaking all match, it's no great surprise, qualifier or not, to see him in this position.
No. I spoke to him earlier. He's, as I said to Simon, he's been breaking superbly all weekend, and he said it's been a big...
I can believe it.
But the problem with this one, it's not really a finish he's got a chance of going at. He's either going to have to go all in and pop the red and trying to disturb and open that up, or just sort of hand it over to Goobs, to Scott, and sort of see if he fancies him.
Well, he's going. His biggest thing is getting on the next red off this. Fancied him to open that up okay. Is he on it? He doesn't want it to pot.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, you'll take those.
That is perfect.
You will take those. Lovely. His next sort of half issue, if you like, is just the reds together at the bottom of the table. Are they too tight together, or do they go independently? If that's the case, you know, you can almost write these off already, but let's not do that. he had to go instant.
It's another great shot though.
Oh,
He's perfect.
Yeah, he can play the long plant. He was pretty straight on that red to the middle as well. He's done really well to get there.
He's got a great technique around the table, Reese. Comes from Leicester, and I've known him a number of years, and they're all sort of well coached over there.
Yeah, from good 8-ball stock, aren't they?
Yeah,
that neck of the woods, similar to this one, really.
Yeah, and to be fair, this last few months, Reese has actually been spending a bit of time with my lad Teddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been taking down Leicester and to Reese's club, pool club, the Q club, and they've been doing some junior coaching with him at that club, so we call him Sensei.
And what's he taught you?
Wow. not how to break this weekend anyway. He's just left himself a very tricky 8-ball, and this will see how you're feeling. This is not nice. But staying still on your shot. Awesome.
Brilliant. I mean, you've got to be absolutely over the moon with that.
Trailing 4 frames to 1.
So back to it we go, and the run of excellent breaking continues. I mean, Scott is breaking beautifully. It's kind of split than last time as well, I think, which will help him. He's not really done much wrong, Scott, other than maybe take on a bad finish, but I think he probably had to. Just jawed a double on a very difficult 8-ball, but that's the thing, when you're as confident as he is, 4-1 in a race to 10, when you've not really done much wrong, you'll still be feeling pretty good. And he's taking on these reds. Just wonder, with Scott in particular, Liam, you know, I've heard plenty of players say this weekend it's almost had a similar vibe to the Supreme Series a few years ago.
Yep.
Very, very similar races, similar sort of format, if you like. But obviously, you know, so much has changed in those sort of four or 5 years and all the rest of it. But the sort of core of the tournament is very, very similar. And I just wonder if it's unlocked Scott Gillespie, who of course had such an unbelievable run in those Supreme Series.
Yeah, for sure.
Seems to be a format that really, really suits him. I think he won 2 of them, didn't he?
He's won 2. I think. Well, he's got good memories from this club, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Because I think the first Ultimate Pool title they won was
It was here, yeah, the Masters last year.
So if you're playing at a venue where you've got good memories, you're almost on a sort of upwards curve.
Does it give you that little bit of a boost?
Yeah, yeah. And he probably relishes the tournaments here because he just feels comfortable in the environment. And he's obviously plays his best pool. Because I think you do get that. I think you get some players that perform better in a hotel environment. And I think you get players that obviously excel playing in a pool club.
Oh, I always remember Mick Hill talking about how much he loved the drive to Blackpool. As soon as he sort of got on that final road into Blackpool, the memory sort of started flooding back for him. Probably not exactly the same, of course, but probably a similar feeling for Scott Gillespie, who's won some big titles out of this club.
Yeah, he's definitely not enjoying the sights in Stoke, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and you can say that, you live it.
Yeah, yeah. We've got a couple of big Tesco's and that's about it.
I had a little venture uptown this morning, Newcastle under Lyme. It was lovely. Nice bright day. Plenty of folks out on the Sunday.
Yeah. They're all homeless. Only joking.
Come on.
These Scots going about this very well. The standard in this match has been tremendous from both players. It's interesting to see how Reese is sat in his chair there, just like really engaged into the match, if you know what I mean. He's not looking around, he's just focusing on the table.
Yeah, it can really go sort of one or two ways. Scott just resetting himself on the shot. Out the pocket. He's played spectacularly in this tournament.
What a break again.
But that is a spectacular break to go along with that sort of line. And here we go. This is where it's got to go. It's sort of 7-5. It's you know, there's still some time left in the match, but you get the sense that if Reese is to go and win it, he's got to start playing some no mistake pool, and it needs to begin now.
How many breaks have we seen where Reese has brought that cue ball back in a perfect straight line?
That's such a weapon for him, isn't it?
Oh, if he can keep that up for the season, that he'll take some beating.
Hardest thing to do in the game consistently. It's what really separates a lot of the best players.
So I think he was playing for position on the red down the rail then, and he's just overran it slightly, which can now make this finish missable. So he's the wrong side of the red that's in the centre of the table to get on the other one over the middle. So it's going to have to be a little reroute.
Yeah, just needs some working out. Because you could, in theory, leave that red as quite a nice last ball for the 8-ball, but then the one just below the middle pocket becomes then a problem ball, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think he wanted to get them two out of the way and then work his way back down for the red on the other side of the table, but being on the wrong side. There you go. And that all stems from that miss, sorry, the loose positional play. He's not left it easy for Gillespie on the finish, but it's a huge opportunity now.
Extension called.
Do you commit?
Yeah.
Why not? It's a tough shot. It's not getting any easier.
Yeah, it's not ideal. He'll have more tough shots in this visit, I feel. I think he's got to take the yellow down the rail now. And then you're looking to hold on the yellow to the middle to then link to the one top left. Do you go coast to coast now?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's hard to know how big his angle is on this one, whether he can hold or he's got to come back across. He's played it well.
Oh, he's played beautifully, you know. So he could hold. That was crisp and clean.
Yeah, he's in perfect position to just leave himself a big enough angle so when he pots the one down the rail, the cue ball will come off the back out. There you go. Draw it back slightly and it'll be the 8-ball in the bottom right hand corner.
Yeah, shake of the head from Reese. Mentioned how it had to be. It felt like it had to be perfect pull. From 7-5 down. And it's it may well be a terminal frame to have lost this. brilliant. Great recovery, great counter clearance from Scott Gillespie. That wasn't necessarily easy, but he made it look it. Been a subject of conversation around the club this weekend. Had some shouts for one of the men coming up in a second. Chris Day, he played a shot me and you commentated on actually in the Players' Championship last year. That was frightening, like absolutely unbelievable. But even then, it's hard to look past what Carl did yesterday. It was magic. So Scott breaks straight. And I think is he still okay? Yeah, he's all right. Well, surely not. He's had to turn that a little bit, you know.
This is the one now if he gets this one.
I'll put it this way. That chair for Scott Gillespie won't be comfy.
Did you play this one off the yellow? Can he get the owl? So he's going towards the yellows here.
Yeah.
And that's a big window. Ooh, that's.
Well, he knew that, so instead of screwing it, he's gone the other way, and he's just taken a thin one. But this is tough. It was tough. And Scott Gillespie will win the match. And he'll sigh a relief.
Yeah, and I think he'll be relieved, but he knows he can play a lot better. And he's managed to win a quarter-final 10-6.
Well, I think he'll be really pleased with how he played in the middle part of the match, especially. I think 15-second shot clocks caught him out a couple of times, and you know that can happen. But I think broadly speaking, I think he's been brilliant in this match.
He's just using all the seconds just to make it a guarantee. As they say, every second counts.
Extension called.
Three-ball punt for the fans.
For the fans.
Scott, let's see a showboat. He isn't going to, is he? He's just going to play it proper.
So Scott Gillespie is through to another Ultimate Pool semi-final. Brilliant performance from the Scotsman, who ousts a really good Rhys Townsend. He can be really proud of his weekend, Rhys.
To be honest, probably a few things went against me, and I probably just let them affect me too much, to be honest. You know, sometimes it is a mental game, and when things go badly for you and good for your opponent, you have to battle through that. And
yeah,
I say, unfortunately, I didn't really do that at the time, and I was saying that was the weekend over, but I couldn't moan too much about how I played. You know, I did feel I was playing pretty well, so you just got to think you've got to try and carry it on, ain't you? So,
yeah, absolutely.
And so there's, you know, now that we've got a few more tournaments this year, you can put it behind you a bit easier, look forward to the next one and think about things you can do slightly differently maybe, and say just small improvements. I've definitely had some small improvements on certain things I did this weekend, so you just sort of, you always need a bit of luck when you're here.
Always.
If you don't have it, it can be tough. So
yeah, it's such an underestimated part of it. I think, you know, some people almost, you feel like they get a bit almost offended when you say you need luck, but you absolutely need luck to win these events. The fields are just too big, the qualities are too high. You know, Chris Day and Ryan Pisani have both played fantastically this weekend, but they've both had luck to be in this at this stage of the competition.
I think what I find is more, you need luck when you make mistakes. I find you sort of see people do well, and what I mean by luck is they're able to get another good chance when they've made a mistake. You know, you often say, "Oh, you make a mistake, you get punished by the pool gods," but you can tell the players that don't get punished by the pool gods, that's just not kind of luck you need, and you can sort of progress. You know, get another chance to put it behind you. But at this game, it's just you definitely need a little bit, but you have to also, as well as needing it, you have to take it as well when you get it.
Yeah, you certainly do. It's.
But they say Ryan must be playing well. You know,
but a little bit of a surprise to see Ryan just at this stage of a competition. I guess so early on his Ultimate Pool Pro journey, but you know, it's full credit to him. I've always really liked his game whenever I've seen it, and yeah, as I say, maybe a touch ahead of schedule for some, but you know, you see the results that he's picked up this weekend, and he must be playing seriously well.
Yeah, that's right. I think you always get people that pop up, don't you, that surprise you, and I think sometimes they pop up then go away. But it'd be interesting to see. You say he's come up, done well this time. See how he does the next event. Obviously, he's still not even out of this one, so he could win it yet. But
yeah, because I don't think it doubles anywhere, and
there's no skill shot on with the yellow's too close to the black there. Yeah, that's a nice shot.
So it doesn't double anywhere. Does it treble anywhere? Maybe bottom right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if that's his plan, because if he trebles it bottom right and sticks it over the pocket, then Ryan's got a little bit of a problem with his yellow above it.
Well, I wonder if he can leave him, if he just stays above the yellow, if he keeps himself above this yellow, he can cut it in and sort of arc around that yellow in the middle of the table. I just wonder if he plays this with top, with a bit of right hand side, he can arc around the red, hit the bottom cushion, flick the yellow half ball, move out of the way, land on the black.
Okay.
Or hit the black and land on the black.
Well, it's certainly an option.
Yeah, I don't think it's, well, I'm going to say, I don't see what else he's got on that he can guarantee himself being on. I think he's might be trying to play it, you know. It's, I wouldn't say it's natural, but the topspin's going to arc it round that yellow. Yeah, that's what he tried. Look, half ball on the... Wow, I nearly called it then, perfectly.
Yeah.
Just when looked a little bit messy, didn't it?
Yeah, well, of course, the key thing is you've got to pop the red as well, and that's the one that let him down there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a stretch, wasn't it, that finish, and you could tell he was concentrating so much trying to get that cue ball round the yellow, just made him miss the pot.
Yeah, because you had to play with so much pace to get it around the yellow, so it looks a bit crazy, but that was just sort of...
And you also want to pot it slightly thin so you get the pace onto the cue ball. He's come up short there. Just have to go up the table. I mean, a player playing well, these are the nice... I know he's sort of come short there, but player playing well is just going to get down, pump this straight in the top right, you know, just... And, like, no big deal. You know, like, sort of thing you watch, like, Chippy do. You know what I mean?
I wanted to ask you I know you were out in the bar area keeping an eye on the main table through that. Well, you made the sort of the Scott Gillespie performance there. Looked really sharp, didn't he?
Yeah, he's well, to be fair, I watched some of his game against Lewis, and you know, I felt a bit for Lewis. You know, he really let him off. Let him off the hook there. And I think if that game goes differently, Scott possibly might not be here right now. But,
well, of course, yeah.
You know, but that probably is like a switch. It's probably the end. Scott had that game with Carl Morris, didn't he, just before Lewis's game? Yeah. And I did say at the time, it's probably a bit harsh.
Oh, hello.
Lewis is in.
Oh, Chris Day. What a shot.
Yeah. Did Ryan snooker him then?
Yeah.
I don't know why he snookered him.
Well, we'll come back to this in just a moment. Can Chris...
Is he going double?
Finish it off. Deserves to. Yeah. Deserves to. Oh, what a finish, CD.
That's... for me, that's bad. Poor by Ryan. I didn't actually see the shot Ryan played.
So here's the shot from Chris Day. Absolutely exceptional shot. Yeah. Totally as played, and then follows it up with the double on the 8 ball. But we were talking about a couple of different things, but for Ryan Pisani there, you called it on comms. You know, if he's confident, he pumps this up to the top right and plays it.
He's shaking his head. Chris shouldn't have a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, you just need to leave yourself the angle, don't you? Straight sort of kills you a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the one he's seen.
I've just going to say he's got to come off 2 cushions to play that though. He's got to sort of come round the back of it.
Yeah.
Because that's never going to check up on this table.
And also, it just feels like he played really hard.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get the side to bite on the cloth, but you're only ever going to go, the harder you hit it, the wider you go. That's wide.
Oh, Chris Day has got
nice.
a good chance to get a really, really good lead going here.
Yep. Just pick your balls, Chris, and then you work way back from your last ball that you want to pot, and away you go. He probably pot the one down the left-hand rail, but he could even move it now, possibly with the red to bottom right. I'll leave the ones at the top of the table to last and just come down that right-hand side for the black. Might be a touch wide on this to move that ball, so might just have to leave it down the line. And just slow up a little bit. Yeah, I think he's got to take the one top left, come down the left-hand side of the table. He could possibly have the one on the rail as a free shot if he wants. Now he's going to clip this in past the yellow, sorry. I don't want to. If you want to try and get up that left hand side, I don't know if you've got the angle. Then leave the red ball closest his hand to the last. Yeah, he's just tried to force it a little bit. If he'd left the other red, he could have had this as a bit of a free shot, because the red he could have topped through and it would have been covered. But
you just got to back yourself to make these.
Yeah, you're in. You're at this level stage of the tournament. You fancy yourself to pot these, and you've got to back yourself to get them. Which she has done. A little bit of angle.
Yeah, is there an argument here to maybe send both up to the top right?
I don't know if you can pot it screw back off the cushion he's closest to and come back in towards the middle of the table.
Yeah, I was wondering how much angle he's got, yeah.
I mean, any sort of, this red with the yellow there, it's unmissable to the top right. So if he played this red in there, he could move the yellow and possibly cause himself a problem. So
yeah, I see.
He's going to dig down. He could literally leave himself anywhere down this side of the table, and he can't miss the last red past the yellow. Yeah, he's screwed back over. You're potting this jam all day long.
Steady.
You are.
You've actually seen me play more than most as well.
Yeah, I know you're getting that. Oh, how the hell have I done that? Chris is thinking the same thing I'm thinking though. I can't miss it with the yellow there. He's probably hit the only part.
The only part, that's amazing.
Yeah, anywhere else that cannot not go in, I can't believe it. That is a massive jinx, that is, isn't it?
See, I told you I could miss it.
Yeah, you're right, you could have missed that. Yeah, if Chris can miss it, you can miss it. I can't believe it hasn't gone in.
Well, Ryan's got to play a very cute shot. He doesn't want that to drop. That's a very nice shot.
Yeah, now.
Good luck, Chris.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
And doesn't want to re-rack. I think, to be fair, this is a very awkward situation at these rolls. Chris has got to go and hit the red. But in an ideal roll, he doesn't really want to. It's a really because it's going to be. It is possible, but very, very difficult to pot that red and not pot the cue ball as well at the same time.
He's already made an unbelievable shot in this match.
It's a good effort. It's a really good effort, and fair play for having such a good go here, because I think a few people might have tried to work their line out first before having such a brave attempt at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still a bit shocked that that ball hasn't gone. I did talk it up a bit too much, I feel. But oh,
wobbled.
Oh, Ryan.
Ryan Pisani once again showcasing that break, and it's not just power, is it? It's that cue ball.
Yeah.
Really, really impressive.
Just looking at the lie. Well, you can take your pick here. Reds are the obvious one's got an easy starter. Don't know if one goes to the right centre. He's playing this one down the line. It's awkward queuing, but it should be comfortable enough. And then he's got to work. Same again. You work your clearance around the last ball to get down for the black. You'd love it to be the one over the left centre, but I don't think that's going to be. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to do that. So it does make it a little bit. Maybe make you think about which ball you can use to get down to the black. Of course, you've got the whole right hand side of the table as well to land for the black. Well, the right hand side, but you come down the right hand side of the table to get on the black. So that's does go underneath the yellow as well. I mean, he could play a clever shot here. He could flick the red above the yellow up to the table, use the yellow, knock the red in. Then he's got a red up the table to get on the black. But he's not playing that. He's to be a little bit careful here. So it'd be interesting to see how he plays his shot. The red does go in, but he doesn't want to knock the red over the pocket. He doesn't want to knock it around. Could he? Yeah, he's got to get on that red above the yellow. So he might try to do now. It's too close.
He's got options. It's not. It just got a little bit ugly for him here, but he's got options.
I think the shot that I actually sort of said a few shots ago, it may seem a bit extreme, but I think it's actually would have been the best shot to play, because it would have took out getting onto the black would have been a lot easier, and it would have made it a little bit less messy a table. Can he hold for it to get on the black? I mean, he might. If he leaves it left hand side of the table, the black will be easy to put in the top right, I feel, just because of the yellow.
Well, I think he can drop this one in over the middle. Can he leave enough
angle to top through?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he can, because he's even tried to get further over.
Yeah, and he can go across the top right of the table from here.
Yeah. Oh, he's not happy. What's he not happy with?
Well, he is pretty straight, but I think he only needs to nick a bit.
Yeah, but if he screwed back to where he is, he'd still pop the black. With that, I feel that yellow just does give him a bit of a big pocket.
Yeah, he's fine. Come on, Ryan.
Shot, Phil. He's learned from the best.
Yeah. Couple of nice mannerisms picked up from some of the all-time greats. Still needs making. And in it flies. Yeah, never in doubt.
They're on a bit of a run at the minute, aren't they, the pair of them? Right, he's coming bottom right now. He's just going to have to kill this one in. He's turned it in. I thought that meant the cube will go away a little bit more. He's got a big area now to come up and down the table. He's on the black as soon as he pots it, and he'll stay on the black as long as he doesn't go too close to the bottom left corner. Is he going to just dig down slightly? Maybe a bit worried about that bottom corner. Again, getting too much side on it. Just play with a little bit of bottom. No, he's potted it thin. He took a risk there. That's silly. If he just plays a bit of bottom on it, no side.
Yeah.
No side. A lot of people will play that shot with a side, and that's a side that would take it across to near the red, but just played it at the bottom just to kick it away from the corner bag. It just would have come up and down the table fairly straight. Now this is definitely a more awkward black than he would have wanted. And he's got to play a shot here. Looks easy from that angle, but believe me, it isn't that easy. He's rolled it again.
Yeah.
I feel you've got to
Don't
play
like
that firm. Nah. That's a big let off for Chris. I feel like Ryan was trying to make that clearance a little bit more difficult. I think he was playing it like he had to get close to the black, but just as long as it's hand on table, he's going to pop the black from anywhere. It could be an important part of the match here. Does the red go past the black? Chris is going to play a snooker first shot here. Yeah, nice one. Nice.
Yeah, it's always a little bit of a risk because...
Yeah, I don't know if you can come off one cushion and get between the two, can he? No, Ryan's body language is saying not.
Yeah, you've got to be 2 cushions at least here. But...
Is there a line off the left-hand cushion? Just
left-hand bottom cushion?
Yeah, left-hand cushion. Just miss the red in the bottom left. And come up there.
He's probably talking 3 there, maybe. Come off the top right.
Then I'm thinking potting it. I don't know if he can come there and pot it. But maybe he can get off one here. He's going to slide a lot. Has he got the gap?
Oh, he wasn't far off, you know, John.
It was very tight, wasn't it?
I just wonder if he sort of decides to play that a little bit quicker, if he could have got a little bit closer, because he did rush the shot in the end, but he really wasn't far off getting it. Have a watch this.
Yeah, it would have been close, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think he would have potted it. He might have... Right, Chris is playing this off the black. Open up his red. Doesn't want to bump it in front of there. He's got to go down the table now, but... he's alright. Yeah, Chris is in perfect position here. Just work out where he wants to get onto the 8 ball, possibly the red to left centre. If he's high on it, he could just run down off the side cushion, left hand side to get on it. Might have to change that now. I think he's a tad straight, or just coming slightly away from the reds with this one incentive. Try and pot it as thick as he can, I'd imagine. Top through. Yeah, so Chris often comes around to the shot. You can just sort of see where he wants to put the cue ball for his next shot. He's cued this pretty well. Get the spin into the cue ball quick. Get the bounce off the cushion, so they have to hit it fairly hard as well. Get the cue ball back towards the centre of the table. Like so. Is he going to go? That's close to enough. Can he screw straight back off it?
I think screwing's the way here.
Yeah, screw back.
You can find the line.
Yeah, this is a shot as well. You don't want to hit. You don't have to hit this too hard. You don't want to be hitting it too hard into the centre. But if you cue it nicely, you can really get the zip on the cue ball, and you've got a bit of play because you got the. As soon as you get to where your hand is, you're on the black. So you got
there you go.
The way there, yeah.
He was fine, making mountains out of molehills.
Just explaining, Stephen.
So 6-5 lead incoming for Chris Day. Spot in the British Open semi-finals awaits one of these two. Yes. Rolls in the 8 ball. Good shot.
Could be an interesting finish to this match. Right, this is the biggest break of Chris's tournament, I feel.
Certainly is. 2 minutes and 44 left on the watch.
He's got a good split.
He needs a ball.
He lost the cue ball a bit. Well, this is a great chance for...
He's not got one. This is... Well, we've seen what Ryan's like on the 15-second shot clock here. If I was Chris Day, I'd keep my cue chalked and ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of work to do. Ryan showed he's not exactly what you'd call comfortable on the quick pace.
I wonder if the two yellows, top right, one of them to the right goes. It's wide.
Yeah, missed it. Here we go.
There you go then, Chris. You've got plenty of time. I think Chris has probably learnt the hard way before, hasn't he, about the clock. I can't.
Well, he practices a lot on the 15 as well.
I don't know if there was a chance a time when he did run out of time on a clearance. I'm not sure if that was Chris or not. I might be doing him a bit injustice, but sometimes you can take too long, can't you, and run out of time. But Chris is good for this sort of scenario.
He certainly is.
And now this is a big shot. This could go anywhere, these balls. This is a thin cut. Yeah, he's got it.
Oh, he's got both. How's this come out for him?
Is he on the plant? If he's on the plant, I'll say plant again, but I don't think he's on it. It's a bit unfortunate, but he's still on this one to box. This is another thin cut. Yeah, that was a bit too thin.
Oh, it's tough.
And now, Ryan, you just use the time, pot your balls. You've only got to play 4 shots. There's one. Let the time run down. Think about where you want the cue ball. If you come round 2 here, cue ball will do a bit of travelling as well. Yeah. I think that's the shot that there's one of it now. He can pot these next 3 comfortably. Doesn't even need to. There's the 3rd ball. And then this will be the 4th one, and that will be match over. So he's probably been a little bit fortunate here. I feel a bit for Chris. But he battled away well, Ryan.
You've got to give so much credit to him.
Yeah.
You've got to give so much credit to Ryan Pisani. He has come through it. Huge respect to the Maltese. You can see how much that means to him. He has run it through, and he's taken down Chris Day in the Ultimate Pool British Open quarter-final. Take it in, Ryan.
See what it means to him, can't you?
Yeah, you absolutely can. You got to feel for Chris. He's run a real gauntlet at this competition, and he was not far away.
And the top of the draw, a belter of a semi-final. Tom Cousins, the #1 player, up against the WEPF World Masters champion Declan Brennan. And this was the WEPF World Masters final. One of the classic matches we've ever seen on Ultimate Pool TV. And they are going to go and do battle again. And it is going to be Declan Brennan with the first opportunity. Race to 10, as it has been all throughout the British Open. 70 minutes on that match clock. And joining myself on commentary is Danger Mouse. Liam White, how are you?
I'm alright, Simon. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to this match. I wasn't in Morocco when they last played, so and I didn't end up watching it, but I've seen the highlights back, and if it's anything close to that, then we're in for a treat.
Yeah, it was a special match. It really was. Obviously, ended up 10-8 to Declan Brennan, but no pots missed between them. Just high quality. Just doesn't matter where the ball was, how tough it was. They were both just slotting them home, and blow for blow, big packed crowd. It was Declan that got the victory, as well as winning the World Team Shootout, the World Team Championships, and making the finals of the pairs. The only disappointment for him in Morocco, as he tries to develop things in his first frame, was a last 16 exit of the World Championships at the hands of Josh Kane.
That was a great shot to open up the 2 bad balls. You expect him to get out from here, but just got to take care on this shot. I think these two have, for the last couple of months, have been the form players for me, alongside probably Luke Gilbert as well.
Definitely feel that Declan's rediscovered the form, hasn't he? From around the middle of last year onwards, he's just been dangerous throughout. Lots of semis. He's made a final recently at the Pro Series. Just feel like he's back in the form to go and win again on the pro ranks. Obviously the Masters wasn't a pro title, but obviously a major title.
Yeah, and it's just, there's no coincidence. It's when he's more settled and happier off the table. He's enjoying playing. So what he may end up playing is sort of just leave himself on the straight and maybe try to top off the bottom rail.
Obviously played on it here. Clever.
He's got a choice of 2 here by the looks of it. So whatever he feels better with. He's got a big margin to land in here, but they're going this route.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's hard to believe. That really is. I mean, I thought if he was going to miss it, he was going to miss it on the straight side of the pocket, but he missed that very wide. Have another look at this.
Seemed to be a bit of body movement on the shot, didn't there?
It's one of the easiest balls I think I've ever seen Declan miss. I was thinking if he hits centre pocket there with pace, is the yellow in the triangle area a problem for him? But that's why I thought he might just try and pinch it on the straight side of the pocket just to make sure he had the gap and gets the middle of the table. But
yeah.
I mean, kind of well, got it all wrong. So that's more mistakes in this match than the match they had in Morocco last year.
Terrible standard.
They have already played this year. Played in the second Pro Series event of the year. Obviously Declan got the win. He's got, every time they've played with Ultimate Paul, he's got the victory.
He's fine. Just wants to make sure. He's perfect, isn't he? That's all Tom can do, is any mistake that Declan makes, just punish it first opportunity.
And that he has done.
Most times.
Didn't seem to hit them so well. Yeah, this might not be a legal break. 3-point rule. He definitely potted 1. He needs 2 balls to go past the centre line. 1, 2. He's okay. He's fine. It's not a great split for him, but it is a legal break.
Just going to play safe off this first shot and not take anything off the table. So, depends on how Tom feels. He may have a stab at these. Play the red into the bottom right first shot and leave yourself a natural angle to pot a red and go into the cluster. But there's plenty of work to do.
Well, not a good piece of cueing from Tom Cousins. Almost a deceleration on that one. You don't see that from Tom very often. Bit jabby. Maybe just mistimed it. He was trying to drag it in, I think, or play a sort of controlled stun shot.
I think in a way though it might work out, because it's one of them finishes where Declan knows he's going to have a go at him, but it's certainly not a gimme. So play the plant, and with the ball off the plant to leave yourself the angle to go into the yellow and the 8-ball on the right hand side.
No, not to be. Yellows are tough though for Tom.
Really too much on for Tom.
What's he spotted then?
He's going for these. He's going to double the yellow and play another double on the 8-ball if he gets it. Not too bad, I think. Declan is going to have to come up with something.
Touching the 8-ball doesn't mean anything.
Not really quite sure what the right shot is to play. Is it just a container, just to sort of just roll the red down and sort of say to Tom, you have a go at them?
Worth the gamble. Just play the loss of turn. You're going to leave yellows on. It's a tough layout for yellows.
Yeah. Would you play the loss of turn as he is now, or is he?
No, I was thinking the cue ball. The benefit of going this way is that it wants the red to at least block the yellow and slow him down a visit.
Loss of turn.
Just tried to get creative. Knew he was going to be leaving a ball on, but didn't feel like he had a safety.
I think he's gambled a little bit and just said to Declan, you have a go at them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So be tempted to play this one, but the cue ball hit the side rail and then into the red rather than straight into it.
No good. Tied the 8-ball up.
be just okay to be able to take it up to the top right pocket.
Big 8-ball coming up then.
Yeah, he couldn't have put the cue ball any better though.
Oh, very good. Just having to be patient really to earn the chance to actually go and win the frame. Oh, Tom. Step 1. What have you got now? That was lovely.
What else can he bring out of his locker?
Oh, no. It won't fall. I thought it was in all the way. Oh, what an effort from Tom Cousins. This was the original beautiful shot, but look what he was left. And oh, did he overcut the 8-ball? Or did it just hit the top jaw? I thought it was in the centre of the pocket the whole way, actually. I think it just grazed the top jaw. We'll have another look at that one in a second as well, but Declan has a wide open chance to go 2 clear here. I'd like to have been a little bit closer to this one. No. Yeah, frustration. Second ball. Okay, it's not an absolutely horrendous miss, but it's one you expect Declan Brennan to make, and the second one of those in the match.
It's a big frame.
Which is always a...
Yeah.
Change of break, cut break it is.
You called it.
Yeah, he's got arguably the biggest break in the world, and he's cut breaking. And he's cut breaking well as well. It's an excellent break, it really is.
It's a good plan B weapon, isn't it?
It is, not bad.
Okay, so it's a finish you expect him to get. Just got to be careful with the cue ball. So would you have the red that's towards the bottom left hand to the table as your last ball, and use the one by the 8-ball to get up for it?
Depends how easy it is to get on the one by the 8-ball, doesn't it? For me.
You may play for get on the one to the left now and come down the table. There you go. Just come too far slightly.
Yeah, sort of tells us that the one by the 8-ball is absolutely no problem at all. The plan was bottom left and right centre. Oh, didn't want the flick. More trouble for Tom Cousins.
I don't think he Can he play cushion first and try and pot the one down the rail? It's tough.
Well, that's what he tried. So another chance goes for Tom Cousins. So already hasn't been flawless from both here. There is mistakes on both sides of the table, but they've just got to keep plodding along, try and eliminate them as much as possible. Good news for Tom Cousins here is that the 8-ball doesn't go top left, making it a real problem. Well, I say it doesn't go. He's having an extended look at it.
He's also got the yellow to the right that's stuck on the rail. It's not an easy ball to get to develop. You see, he did hit the yellow, but it sort of rocked back onto the rail, didn't it?
Yeah, didn't quite pop open as he wanted. This and just try and give it a slight nudge. Another good look at the 8-ball here. So I think he believes it goes.
Doesn't want it drop.
If it's that tight, you have to question whether there's a better way to go.
I think that angle I've just seen, I think it does go.
Yeah. Another check of it.
Imagine if it doesn't go now.
Yeah. It went comfortably. Didn't even hit the jaw. Oh, brilliant stuff.
He's done a Phil Harrison.
Yeah. And it's right down Tom's eye line as well. Tom's probably sat there the whole way through going, it goes comfortably. He goes comfortably, Deck, don't worry. Staying with the cut. And he's made a ball, the rattle that Declan Brennan did not want to hear.
No, but then it's not a finish though. Doesn't look like there's anything there for Tom to clear up.
Trying to get the yellow in front of the 8-ball and make it horrible. Not quite, in terms of if he gets that really awkward and blocking the red as well, then you're kind of thinking, can he run the clock down?
Yeah, and I think he's also saying to Declan, you have a go at yellows, please.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably, I think he's attempted the pot there, but
yeah,
I think that's a result for him. So Tom's having a free.
Yellow balls in play.
Got high on the yellow to left centre as well, so he can come down and try and do some developing work.
Yeah, do you think he'll play any sort of loss of turn? on the plant down the rail or anything, or?
I think it's probably the right way to go.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, it couldn't come out better. It's developed one of the three, but it's left him the plumb angle to develop the other two. I was with you though, and I know that he had the perfect angle to develop there, but if he'd just dropped that in, played the loss of turn, he's playing the match, isn't he? The only way he, in the moment, with the yellow over that top corner, causing some issues as well, you just get the sense that the worst thing he can do is chase the finish. So that's come out okay for him.
Yeah, he's definitely favourite for this now. There's not really a lot for Declan to go at here. I'm surprised to see him.
Well, he's just worried about the clock, isn't he? He's thinking it may be a really low percentage finish here, but he's got to find a way.
On the double? No.
A little short. He's straighten it. Just play the loss of turn. Beautiful shot.
Great shot.
Really important that Tom Cousins gets out of this snooker. Cue ball in hand. There is room for Declan to be delicate and open up and play the red.
The yellows plant in the middle if he comes off the cushion first. But Tom didn't want to disturb.
Oh, it's a great hit, isn't it? And the right smile for Declan because he's left him no angle to do anything here.
Cross double. Top.
Oh, he's got just enough angle. Oh, if he catches it just that shade thicker and stays on it.
Is he going with the cushion first? Try and pot it into the middle. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, I thought that was in 1 minute he hit it. What we got left? 4 minutes left. Tom still has to get out or play some good snookers or a good safety here. It's not just run the clock. He's got too long. That's a great shot. That's a... Well, I was about to say that's a match winner, but if he's not on this yellow to bottom right, maybe it's not. Maybe it's going to have to be another big pot coming up. He is on it. Oh no. Wow, he nearly missed the ball completely. The 15 seconds never fails. It never fails.
And this is a big shot now, but he can play it with an element of safety. And just roll it in dead weight.
Oh, great shot. That is a match winner. Fascinating match, this one. But it is the #1 player, Tom Cousins, that gets over the line and knocks out Declan Brennan. Tom Cousins is into another final.
I'd like to say the Danger Mouse, Liam White, has stuck around, joining me on commentary for this semi-final. Very, very good evening to you, Liam, and a very good evening as well to those of you joining us on Facebook as well. Free stream for you this Sunday evening. And what a match you've got to enjoy here. Winner of this goes into the final to face Tom Cousins. That's, well, we watched his game earlier, Liam, and that's, I think, the worst break that Scott Gillespie's hit all day. Still got a good split, but that was tracking towards the corner. He's got let off and he gets first chance.
Yeah, he's generated some power there, and first glance I'll be looking at yellows. Take the long yellow into the bottom left first shot, and then the rest pretty much all connect up.
Yellow balls in play.
So just pop this one into the right centre and just stun down and effectively give himself a choice of ideally the yellow to the bottom right, but just needs to land in the area.
races to 10, remember, in the British Open. That's been a consistent all the way through. And these early frames have been pretty crucial today. Need a fast start. Scott Gillespie was quick out the blocks earlier on against Rhys Townsend. So too was Ryan Pisani against Chris Day. It was only in the latter stages that that match got a little bit bogged down.
Yeah, I think the yellow goes to the top left, so he's just got to sort of run through slightly, not too far. It's perfect, and the only thing that can go wrong here is if he was to sort of nudge the cue ball into the red, which he should just, he's not going to hit it anyway.
I say that, I think he did have a little bit of a feather. Okay though, it's come up nicely.
And it's just what you want in a semi-final, just to get yourself settled in and back into game mode as a nice break clearance and just send a message to your opponent.
Great finish from Scott Gillespie.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, well played. Much harder for Scott to hide the cue ball now. He might have to find a pot here, and that's not easy.
Yeah, this is... You may have to just try and... I don't even think a pot's on, so you might have to just try and double the red down the table. But he's got to be careful with the cue ball control. Great shot.
Yeah, he was aiming in behind that red, but that's a good enough result. He'll be pleased with it. Right, he's left there. He's found a really decent shot.
Just try to tie the red up.
Oh, as he left it as a loss of turn. Can Scott play it as a straight plant and get the cue ball back to where it was before?
I think that's too risky, just for the fact that if you don't get the cue ball hidden, you're leaving the finish, whereas while the red's tied... Yes, the red's tied up, but so's the yellow. So
Yellow's got a way to break it out, though.
yeah, if Scott just might try and send one of the reds into the mixer, so to speak, down here.
He's going.
He'll have an opportunity to sort of leave himself an angle to pop the ball in the middle and develop the red. So after this shot, he'll look to play it now. The only risk is he's not guaranteed to be on another ball after this shot.
Yeah, it's so on an island, this red. Just going to look at the cut to the left middle. He's probably has to play it with a decent amount of pace, not too much though. It'll throw the cue ball. Played it well. Is he on a ball? Is he on a ball? He's got a shot. It's a horrible one. The one to the top right is the only thing he can see. Rather you than me.
Yeah, he might.
He's probably due that, to be fair. He had a couple of unbelievable
He's going
touches
for the
in this
double,
frame.
I think. Big shot.
Oh, it was.
Oh.
Cocked hat. Oh, nearly.
This is big now for Ryan Pisani to get himself back in the match. Nice shot.
Very
3-2.
tidy. 3-2. Ryan Pisani.
Not quite sure.
If it doesn't, at least he's got some company at the end of the table to help him.
I think it does.
He actually wouldn't mind Ryan just hitting that out of the snooker. It's a great effort. You don't want him to pot it, mind. Oh. He's a little unlucky not to be on something. It's a fabulous shot from Ryan Pisani. Look at him outside he played that with to get that line.
Can he do the same here again? And not only that, he's got to pot it and land in the gap for the 8-ball. It's close.
Oh, it's not a bad effort.
No, and it keeps him in the frame. For sure. Just needed that to come out a little bit further. And he wanted to take these 2 reds out near the bottom, but I think essentially he is forced to go for this. So he may look to take this red into the top left, and then off his last red of the 2 in the right, come round 2 rails and track down the table. The other option is to just roll this one in, pop the red into the top left after this, and come down the right hand side of the table. Whatever suits him.
He's got his angle.
Yeah.
Got himself a nice line. Just all about pace control this. And that's pretty nice. He'll be pleased that he's on the lower one.
Yeah, he may
He'd
just
love to have been off the cushion.
Off the cushion and maybe a little bit more angling, maybe okay. Looks like he's just got enough angle to just stun it off.
It's awkward. Just drops. How'd you like these?
Yeah, that was just because it just travelled that little bit too far.
Great shot. He's going to have to do another one. Never in doubt.
Trailing 9 frames to 2.
Well, Scott Gillespie knows that it's very possible to come back from 9-2 down. So I don't think he, of all people, will be resting on his laurels. Ryan Pisani takes a look at the table, smiles and nods. He's thinking, where have you been? Fancy getting this layout at 9-2 down.
Yeah, and I think the other reason why he's looking at it, he wants to be on reds, and can he pot one? Apart from the one down the rail.
Oh, that'd be unbelievable if not.
I think that was why we had the sarcastic grin. He may be able to pot this one into the top left, but it's not a gimme.
Shot. Oh, and he's scratched. Oh, you just got to feel for the Maltese. Not to beat.
Such a cruel game.
Oh, it's brutal. It's a brutal game. And the thing is as well, is he gets nothing for potting the red apart from making Scott's life easier. This is about as simple a run out as you could have to win a semi-final.
Ball's in play.
You have to say though, for as you know, as much as you have to feel for Ryan, Scott Gillespie has taken this game away from him. He's been brilliant, and it is the Scotsman who flies into the British Open final. What a performance from Scott Goobsy Gillespie! Will it be Tom Cousins who wins again, or will it be Scott Gillespie who claims his second ultimate pool title? Interesting to see Tom Cousins start with the front ball break. We will keep an eye on that. It has not really been his friend today, which feels bizarre to say, given Simon Webb, that he has arguably probably the best break in the world, or so we thought. But if you asked him today, it's nowhere near that. He's been cut breaking. He's been cut breaking more throughout this front ball, especially when he's been playing outside of the TV tables, predominantly cut breaking in the arena with the 16 tables. So yeah, surprise for me that he has started with a front ball, because he ended the last match cut breaking, and he said he was going to start this match cut breaking, but he's had an hour and a half or so and talked himself back into his stock standard. And I think you should, when you break as well as Tom does, I think you should start with plan A. I don't think you should start with the cut. The cut break can never be plan A for Tom Cousins.
Just come, but to be honest with you, he has a fabulous cut break as well.
He does. But there's great cut breaks, and then there's really great front ball breaks. And yeah, Tom has to start with plan A. He's got a very good plan on these reds at the moment. He needs a plan for the reds just above the 8 ball.
Yeah, just wonder what he's thinking here. I mean, short positions available. I think it goes top left. Certainly goes top right in short position. Played for the plant here, so he's not guaranteed a good angle to do anything. Well, he does have that good angle though, so he can go both ways here. He could probably just try and get onto the cushion, or the way he's looking, more likely just hold it and take it top left, and then it's just a stop shot. A little bit, he'd rather be dead straight on it, just so it's all in his own eye line. It's a little bit semi-blind here.
Still fancy him for it, mind. Just dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
He had half a glance at top right just because it's a more open pocket. Still going to start with the top left. He was actually, it was the line of the cue ball he was having a look at. He was just going away from the 8 ball as well. He was making sure he wasn't tracking behind a yellow. And it wasn't the miss to the top corner that was the problem there. It was the position onto that ball. From where he was and what he was trying to do, not moving the cue ball very far, he should have been right behind that. Scott's counter is Not too bad, obviously, apart from the yellow on the left-hand side, but that's in a prime position for a double. And I don't think there's any reason to do anything other than leave it for that double.
Been so impressed with Scott this weekend. Watched him a few times now out there on the main arena table. The key turning point in his tournament came out in on the outside tables in the club though. 9-2 down to Lewis Roberts, a 10-9 victory to recover it. And since then has just played brilliant stuff.
I actually think that I agree with you. That was an amazing turn of events. But I think maybe not turning points, maybe not the right word, but
the Morris
match.
Bigger,
I just think for the mental, you know, because he had to show so much mental strength, which he said he's been working hard on, and that was as big a test as you'll ever get of that mental strength. And he came through that with flying colours, and that didn't play particularly well in the match actually, but dealt with the mistakes he was making and all the antics that go on with Carl Morris, and obviously won the 6-red shootout as well. And I think that's given him a lot of confidence that he's on the right path on the mental side of the game.
He changed his mind, went to develop the yellow, didn't fancy the double. I think he might fancy the double now.
I think the problem he had there was, he's going to lay the snooker here, which is an interesting decision because Tom should get out of this. It's just a case of whether Tom can get himself on the 8-ball from it. But just going back to Scott's chance there, the problem was he was off angle on the yellow, so couldn't. If he was straight in, he just drops it in. He's got the double, but he had so much angle that he was going up and down the table, and he couldn't make the double from where he was because the other yellow was in the way. So actually, it was a poor couple of positional shots that didn't allow him, because that was a fairly comfortable double.
And the only reason Tom has missed that is because he's tried to almost play it 2 cushions.
Yes,
because if he hits that red ball full in the face, he's not on the 8-ball. Had to find a way to pull it away. Now then, Scott, you put yourself perfect on the double. Now it's go time. And in it flies.
Almost so.
I've been so impressed with Scott today and back end of yesterday. We've got our Goobsy back, is how it feels. I mean, his final in the Masters up against Jimmy Croxton at times was some of those twitchy pool you'd ever wish to watch. Both players really felt the heat of the finish line, and he got there and he played some good stuff on the way to the final. Not his best, but played well. And you know, ultimately finals are for winning and no one can take that away from him. But if he can run the gauntlet in the British Open and get a race to 10 win over Tom Cousins, you just don't do that without playing well. And I want to give you your flowers here, Si. You call it before the start of this tournament.
Trying to...
Got a fancy graphic made on the Facebook and everything.
Yeah, trying to remain not smug about it, but I absolutely am. Thing is, if you make a lot of predictions, eventually you're going to get one right.
First false note there from Scott Gillespie there, you feel?
It's not bad, is it, though? I mean, 4-1 down in big final and Tom comes to the table with this. It's not pretty.
It'd be even better if that red had potted. He'd have loved that red to have dropped and Reds would have been in real trouble. But they've got a foothold with that ball there.
Trying to get behind the 8-ball there, not quite. As you say, that red sitting over the pocket means it's not a great chance for Scott to quickly go. I still think I'd rather be yellows here than reds, but it's in the balance. Tactical exchange at a big time as well. I know it's early, I know there's a long way to go, but 5-1 and we're starting to see some separation. 4-2, it's only one dry break potentially away from it all being square, so it's just big frame for Tom Cousins to win and stay somewhat in touch.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. Is he trying to dangle the carrot?
Eight ball causing Tom no end of problems, but it's also the ball that's keeping him involved in this frame right now, because it's stopping Scott. It's interesting whenever you have a battle like this, you feel yellows right now are in front, but they still feel a long way away from being able to go. Or I say a long way away from being able to go, not really go, but it's a big risk to go. It's a low percentage chance to go.
Does he have a line?
I'm not sure what the plan is here. I mean, the double's not really on. The
Well, can he play it? Well, my question is does he want to play into it now? Obviously, the big problem is what is your run after it? But what is the plan?
I don't think you can play into it now, because if you play into it now, and he's got the perfect angle to play into it now, then you've got to land through the reds and 8-ball, which will be going up the table, to be on a ball at the top with an angle to get on the one at the top. So your better option is to get back on the same angle and play it last. But the chance of being on something when you play that is low percentage. With the way these balls were laid out, you know, it's a strange one. Scott feels forced into going, because, you know, how else does he force an opportunity with the way they were starting to develop out? And Tom's happy because he knows Scott Gillespie's taking on a low percentage finish. A lot will hinge on this shot right now.
Well, how's your luck? Generally, in the last couple of days, Scott Gillespie's luck has been in. He's got a line, he's got a target. Oh, he did not want to hit that red. He was playing on the double. I think he's landed touching ball.
From the overhead that we can see, it looks like I don't think it's a big pocket double. So maybe it was the way he's played that. And he's obviously finished absolutely nowhere. So he's a huge second favourite all of a sudden for this frame.
Touching ball so he can go wherever he likes here with the cue ball.
Touching ball, would you not pop the red over the pocket?
You would?
Yeah. Take one of Tom's off the table while he's got 2 bad balls.
Tom happy to be patient. It's the right call.
Doesn't want to open them up. Doesn't want to open them up. If you're going to foul, make Tom have to open them up. And he may have just, that little nudge. Tom is looking to try and play short position on it. It may not make any difference ultimately, but it stops Tom from having to play a cannon that could go wrong.
And that's going to be 4-2. Even in the early stages of this final, and we are still very much in the early stages, could be a big frame.
Oh, wow. Oh, my word.
Well, it's now a huge frame.
Mark that one down. I don't think I've seen a shot like that from Tom before.
I can't believe what I've just watched.
Tom very rarely reacts, but even Tom had to react to that one.
That is... Well, to say that's a collector's item would be an understatement. I don't think I've ever seen Tom Cousins miss a ball like that. Just get back on the horse. Oh, crunch. Can't hit him better. It's dry. Yeah.
Seen this script before.
So Scott Gillespie.
That's the best break he's hit as well in the match. And he's hit some good ones, but that was power and control and perfect, and nothing happening for him. An opportunity for Tom Cousins to go 6-4 and have the break.
Extension call.
So red's the choice. That little feather on the 8 ball, not ideal for Tom, because it just makes the position onto the 8 ball trickier. When it was 3-4 rolls off the cushion, you could get onto it from the bottom end of the table. You know, obviously, ideally get above the right centre, left centre pocket. But now he's taken this one off the table. He's going to have to play a good positional shot onto the 8 ball. Just adding to the tariff at the back end of this finish. I think he's on the red to left centre, which is the trickiest ball on the table to land on. He's got quite a lot of angle on it, but he always had to have quite a lot of angle on it. I suppose it might pass bottom right actually, so to take that back, it might not be the trickiest to land on. So he can go this way to the bottom right now, and this probably tells us that it does go. Yeah, you can see there it just about goes. Goes top left as well. Really wanted the red to right centre as his last ball. He can just track up to get that position on the 8 ball that I mentioned at the start after his first shot.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Game on. Game on.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Wow. What a time to do that. Ball in hand, anywhere on the table.
yeah, not that easy a finish though. There's some problems. Cue ball in hand anywhere on the table. I question whether he can put the cue ball and play a 3-ball plant on yellows to top right.
Yep.
But then does the other yellow at the top of the table have a pocket? Does it go top left? It looks like it does. Oh, he's thinking red, so playing this red off the yellow to open up the red to that pocket. Then you leave the red above the right centre as your awkward ball. Is he trying to deal with it all in one shot? Is he topping through? He is. Beautiful. What a shot.
What a shot, Scott.
That turns it from being a very difficult layout to a very manageable layout in one shot. Excellent vision.
Frame winner. Should be.
Absolutely should be. A really creative shot, like that a lot. Tempted to deal with the 2 at the bottom of the table right now for me. Take the one past the 8 ball now, then use the other one to come up the table. I just wouldn't want the 2 at the bottom to be my final 2 balls, but I mean, there's not really a major problem if that's the way that Scott wants to go. But with the 8 ball being on the cushion and wanting to come down the table, it's always nice to get on from a high position. And he could have, from where he was, easily just got rid of those 2. And imagine if he was in this position with those 2 gone, how much easier it would be. Maybe thinking about leaving the one over the top left, the way he's eyeing them up. I don't think he will, but may have just been considering it there. Has an angle, could bump into the 8 ball, be a bit risky. Probably not worth it.
Never in doubt. It's rock solid again from Scott Gillespie. Brilliant. 8-5, 2 away.
Perfect cue ball. And wow, beautiful layout. Yeah, yellow passes top right, so yellows are fairly routine, but you know what, reds aren't too far away from fairly routine as well. Surprised if he doesn't go yellows. He's going to go yellows.
pick up problems with this one is tough. He looks in good shape.
I think his original plan might have been to try and get back to the straight top right, and he could have come back middle of the table, then works, and then he's out. But there's many different ways he could have gone about this finish. It's really the one in the triangle area and the one on the bottom cushion that he just needed to get good angles to get to, and just about done that here.
Tom Cousins climbs the hill. His break has been fabulous all day. Last two frames have deserted him. Not in terms of quality, but in terms of result. Needs a ball. Gets a ball. Are we going all the way?
Tricky. Remember the previous frame where the final ball just opened up the path, where, or 2 frames ago. This time it's just a little bit congested at the bottom end. The yellow blocks the red to bottom left, and obviously there's red spot blocking the yellows. There's work here.
Extension called.
I think the only opening pot he's got is actually the red over the bottom right hand corner pocket as well. Throw that into the mix. Hampered queuing. Even if you played it cushion first, you're not guaranteed to get on the next ball.
Okay then.
That's okay. He's got the angle on the one bottom of the break line here. Make the cut, and you want to come off with bottom cushion, and you hit the red that's in trouble, full in the face. You stay on the other one to bottom right, and then from there, you've got to figure out how you're dealing with the 8 ball. You've got to get the full contact though. Oh,
the ball isn't great.
Yeah, it's better than missing it altogether though. At least it goes.
He's probably going to have to play it next. And what a shot this is to play. Yeah. Puff of the cheeks from Goobsy. Super part.
Helps him if the red he's next to goes to the bottom left. Doesn't have to slide across the table. It's actually hard to slide across the table. Yes, it does. 15 seconds a shot now.
Almost.
I think he just has to play the double here. Just float it on and off the cushion. Anywhere past the centre pockets, middle of the table, and he's going to have the double. That little feather's fine. Helps him. I think he might have been a touch short without it. It's not guaranteed.
Then. It's all on this one. Are we going the distance? You better believe it. What a finish from Scott Gillespie under pressure. Can Tom Cousins keep him off the table? He's got a ball. Has he got problems?
If the red passes the 8 ball, these reds are delicious. If the red nearest the 8 ball passes it, it'll take it straight away, and then they are all there.
15-second shot clock does not give you much time to figure it out.
It doesn't go, he's not playing it. So he's got to get to the left-hand side of it later on in the visit. That's the hope that Scott Gillespie is clinging to.
But he knows it's out of his hands now, and it's in the paws of Top Cat.
Tom Cousins doing what he normally does, attacking his bad ball as
Super
early
shot.
as he possibly can, and it's a fabulous shot.
Yeah, recognised by Scott as well. Gave him a little ripple. Deserved it.
Whichever ball he decides to leave till last, he's not guaranteed to get absolutely plumb on the 8 ball. That's the only thing that Scott Gillespie can cling to here.
Don't think there will be any problems from here. Top Cat has taken these down with authority, with accuracy. And this 8 ball for another ultimate pool trophy. Tom Cousins has done it once again. Top Cat is the top performer. What a final. 2 absolutely world-class players going hammer and tong at it. Scott Gillespie will be bitterly disappointed not to get over the winning line, but he can be so proud of his performance this weekend. Tom Cousins, your British Open champion. Thank you so much for joining us this weekend, folks. We've absolutely loved having your company.